Okay guys, so the hearing has wrapped up. It was much longer than expected. It began around 3:15 p.m. and lasted around an hour. Not good news for the prosecution side. Major win for P. Diddy is basically the conclusion of this hearing. Hey guys, it's Murad Murali, daily and consistent content. Let's get straight into this video. This is a defeat for the prosecution, most definitely. I was following this play by play, tweet by tweet by court reporters who were, documenting this, and I wanted to just think about it for a minute before I do this video and relay my thoughts. But this is the gist that I want to give to you in less than 8 minutes of basically what took place. I was going to read out the transcript to you guys word for word, verbatim, but I think it's best to just let you guys know what happened and give you an overall conclusion. But basically everything that the prosecution had found, the notes, the jail notes, or the apps that they were using, or the secret communications, eight inmates were helping him, and etc. All of that the judge is not going to be using to consider his bail motion for Friday. That is a major loss for the prosecution. The judge has decided that he is not going to consider all of this new information that the prosecution had included against Diddy's bail, and they put it all in their details on the 15th of November. He said, we're not considering this for the bail that is going to happen this Friday. So therefore Diddy's lawyers calling this immediate emergency hearing motion was a great thing for them to do. It was a great tactic. Had they not done that, then the judge would be considering that for the bail, and it would have been very difficult for Diddy basically to get bail. Then basically this has eased Diddy's chances massively to get bail when everything happens this Friday. AUSA Slavic says, prosecution side, I'll give you some transcript examples. We're talking here about 11 pages of notes, not a stack. None of those notes are legal. Judge says the notes themselves are not legal, but that page was in a legal pad that was marked legal. So you can't argue as a prosecution to say, because the notes that they had obviously accepted and were looking through was basically information that they should not have been handed, because it was private stuff, property of Diddy. Now I assume that as somebody who was in attendance in a prison cell, what is your property? You're under someone else's property. But also what I forgot is that Diddy is also facing this case, so therefore he has to fight it, and therefore things that he has are basically his for a fair trial, and etc. And everybody is entitled to a fair trial, no matter how evil or nice they are. That's just how the world should work, to be honest with you. But the notes themselves are not legal, but that page was in a legal pad. So the notes themselves were not legal. So that's why the prosecution took them and used them. However, the prosecution collected those non-legal notes in a legal pad where you're not meant to, because the legal stuff that you're meant to access, you're not meant to do that. That's Diddy's side. The prosecution side can't be taking stuff from legal stuff. So even though they're saying the information that we gathered and that we said in against his bail were not from anything legal or privileged, it was in a file that was named legal. So therefore it was a very dumb move. The judge responds, says, we have a bail hearing on Friday at which I will not consider these material. In terms of running down the privilege issues, you can take weeks. Any issue with that time frame? Diddy's lawyer says no. Not only that, but the judge basically, it's getting worse for the prosecution side, guys. The judge says, what about Jeffries, the Abercrombie case in EDNY? The government released on 10 million bail. Be prepared to address the different. And AUSA responds saying it's very different. For the judge himself, Arun, the judge, to come out himself and say, what is the difference between Mike Jeffries, I believe his name was, and for the fact that he was released on 10 million, the Abercrombie that we spoke about, the CEO, why was he allowed to be released for 10 million bond, and why was Diddy not allowed to be released? For the judge to say that themselves to the prosecution team is a big loss for the prosecution team. What this hearing has shown us, that it's very much looking like that Diddy can absolutely obtain that bail now. That bail motion probably is going to be, approved. For the judge to say this, I was gagged reading these notes. I was thinking, are these the right court reporters? Like, are you reporting on a different case? I was really shocked. So the prosecution, they really messed up big time, because why would you use material that you've collected from a legal file, despite the information within the file not being legal? The file itself is legal, it's legal as from what it says. Why would you collect that and then use that against his bail motion, thinking that you've won up him? Yeah, the information was exclusive. Yeah, we were all gagged. Apps he was using, he was intimidating witnesses from inside and etc. But all of that information was under Diddy's, property seized. So basically they fell into Diddy's trap. They fell into the trap I don't think Diddy is clever enough to make that a trap, nor do I think his lawyers are. But they essentially fell into a trap that's basically made the judge favor with Diddy's side and told the prosecution that you cannot use this information, and I will not consider this information for the bail hearing on Friday. And also, they need to sit there and explain the difference between Mike Jeffries basically being bailed on 10 million, but Diddy having 50 million, planes, jets, rescinding all the passports, and why all of that is simply not allowed for him to be released on bail. Now, I assume that the difference between Diddy and Mike Jeffries is more so because there are a trail of Diddy intimidating witnesses on the outside prior to him even being indicted. So therefore, I thought that would be the sole reason for why he was denied bail. Whereas Mike Jeffries, I believe, is not, intimidating witnesses and etc. and is far older. Not that I think age is a factor. That is what I assume the difference is for why Mike got bailed and why Diddy is being refused bail, despite the fact that Diddy is giving up 50 million, whereas Mike is saying 10 million. So for the fact that the judge said that the prosecution have to explain that, which I think is an easy answer for them to do, but for the fact that he's saying that, child. All in all, this hearing was bad. Diddy's team won big in this hearing, and this hearing shows us that not only does Diddy have a chance with bail, but Diddy actually has a chance with getting a satisfied answer for this criminal trial. Possibly. This is what it's shown us. It's not going to be an easy route for these prosecution lawyers, and that they have to actually think twice. This was a very dumb move from the prosecution. Do you guys understand? Please understand. A very dumb move for them to come out with this information and say, oh, this is why you can't get bail. Look what he's doing on the inside. We've got this information, but this is the information that we took when we're not meant to take it, and we publicize it when we're not meant to publicize it. Oh no, we've fallen into the trap. Now the judge is not going to even consider it. So all that work that we did to go against the bail motion and that we thought would be great, that would solidify him being in jail, well, that's not even going to be considered now. So we've wasted our own time doing that as well. The judge is irritated with us. The judge is irritated with the prosecution side. That might carry on. You just simply don't know. It's just not good news. The hearing was a win for Diddy because they're not considering any of that for the bail hearing, which basically enlarges Diddy's chance of getting that bail. The fact that the judge brought in Mike Jeffries is crazy. I really didn't expect that. So that's basically the gist of this hearing. I thought I'd rather give you a conclusion of my thoughts and a conclusion of what happened as opposed to reading out word for word verbatim of nearly an hour of a transcript. I just feel like it's just going to be way too long to be doing that. We'll just see now what happens on Friday. Today is Tuesday, so we'll see what happens on Friday, if he's going to get bail or not. If he doesn't, that's going to be wild because of this hearing, but also I can see him being denied as well. So it could really just go either way. It's just increased Diddy's chances. It's not confirmed that he's getting bail. He's been denied twice. He can be denied again. Don't get it twisted. But it's increased his chances, massively. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys, when it comes to this. Do subscribe, comment down below, and give this video a thumbs up, guys. I'm really bamboozled that Diddy and his team won that. Diddy's lawyers got their lick back because they were basically losing for a while. They got their lick back so nicely by allowing them they fell into Diddy's lawyers' traps, and then Diddy's lawyer filing this emergency motion hearing, and then them coming out on top of this hearing. Oh Lord. I also believe that Diddy was unshackled from what the court reports were saying. So that was requested and that was granted. He was also unshackled, and he was speaking with his lawyers a lot before the judge came in, and things seemed fine, and he looked okay. So yeah. Anyways, subscribe if you guys want to, and I'll catch you guys soon.